I had barely woken up when I heard a hard knocking at my door.
You in there? Get the hell up!
I flipped out of bed and ran to the door, completely unaware of where I was or what I was doing. A man was there, glaring at me.
You've got a report for work today, you know that?
Yes? I blinked at him.
I'm James. I own this place, I run this program. That makes me your boss. You're gonna be a maid at a nearby hotel. Find Angelo and make sure you go together. Aussie will also be working with you.
Okay. I'm not actually sure how you say her name. Is it Asai? Assi? AC? I'm not sure. Somebody tell me. Or I'll have to look it up. Maybe I can look up how to pronounce her name. Wait. You mean I'm not cleaning rooms for the hostel?
Huh. Cleaning rooms for the hostel. What do you think I am, a millionaire? Hell no. I'll look into it if something major happens, but until then you're managing yourselves here. If something goes wrong, fix it yourself. You get yourself over to that fancy hotel. Owner's name's Francesca. Tougher than she looks. Don't make her mad. Don't cause any trouble, understand? We don't need reasons for people to never hire you lot again. You do that and the entire program will be shut down. Not only will you be out of a job, but I'll be out of a job, which means you'll be out of room and food. Understand?
Yes, sir. He scratched his ass and I tried to hide my distaste. Speaking of food.
Breakfast is downstairs. Don't be late if you want to eat before you work. Get your schedule and don't miss a day on the job. And don't bother me. So long, then.
He waved a short-fingered hand and headed off down the hallway. I blinked, only noticing the smell he gave off when he was no longer around. Fresh air! For some reason, I felt like this hostel was less friendly work opportunities and more exploiting the labor of young, naive, and stupid people like myself. Did I just get the short end of the deal? It wasn't like I could do anything about it now. I was stuck here for a semester. I signed papers. I went back into my room and got ready for the day. Breakfast was supposed to be included in my living arrangements at the hostel, but it was clear that it wasn't going to be much, and if I didn't hurry, it might not be anything at all. Wow, look at that wall, though. And the scorch marks. I found my way down to the kitchen, where the promised breakfast appeared to be nothing more than a bowl of apples, milk and cereal, and some sad-looking toast. The toast had been carefully cut into triangles and arranged on a wire rack, each piece separate from each other to be sure they cooled as fast as possible. Cold toast. Yuck. Well, maybe if I got up early enough in the future I could snag it while it was still warm. No butter packs, just a tub of spreadable margarine. No grape jelly either, only honey and orange marmalade. I miss New York already. According to the schedule, I still had an hour before my first shift of work actually started. I decided to go check out the pub Danny mentioned. Some people who stayed at the hostel work there, right? So maybe it would be a good place to go socialize and meet friends. No pressure. Plus, I could drink there. Not that I would, of course, but I could. If I wanted to. Hypothetically. And legally. The Crafty Crown was right next to the hostel, so close that I could see it from my room. Thankfully, it didn't have any obnoxious lights or insanely loud music. It is the morning. But it is a pub. It's not really a club. I skipped across the stone walkway. Yes, a stone walkway, not concrete. Nicely laid out in neat geometrical patterns as if someone actually cared about the way it looked when they put it down instead of just their paycheck. In no time, I reached the polished oak door and pushed it open. Ooh, look at all the drinks. The inside wasn't nearly as nice looking as the out. Honestly, it was a bit tacky. But it looked clean, and there were tables and booths for people to eat at, as well as seats across a bar for those just looking to drink. There was a woman working the bar, and the outfit she wore was rather revealing. It reminded me of the sort of thing you'd see on a buxom wench on an Oktoberfest poster, or a Halloween barmaid costume. She didn't seem to mind, as far as I could tell. I just hoped she wasn't cold. I hesitated in the doorway, unsure whether someone was supposed to seat me or if I should seat myself. Glancing up, she waved me over. Hello, how can I help? She paused in the middle of her sentence, glancing across the room. Oh. I followed her gaze and saw a slab of beef walk into the pub, so to speak. Wow, a slab of beef, you say? Boxes. Football. Okay, so you must be American or Canadian if you got a football shirt. He had dirty blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, and an extremely fit body. The kind of guy you assumed had a six-pack just from the way he walked. He eyed her carefully, then crossed and sat down next to me. When I turned back to face the bartender, she was gone. Do you guys have like some unspoken code about this sort of thing?
Hello there. I don't think we've met. I'm Brendan.
No accent! He was American! Score! I'm Malia. I'm a new boarder at the One.
Really? I live there too. What a coincidence.
Oh, are you part of the program?
Yeah. It seems the hostel owner and the bar owner are old school buddies. Kind of odd that they've stayed in business so long together. Even odder once you meet them. But it means I have a job, so I'm not upset.
Well, it's good to meet you. The conversation reached a natural lull and I began to sweat. Making small talk was fine for me, as I usually repeated the same pleasantries with each person I met. But as soon as I had to find something to talk about, I panicked and drew a complete blank. Like right now. It didn't help that he was extremely attractive, and the girl at the bar was too. This just wasn't something I was used to dealing with. Not when I was actually open to romance. He smiled and leaned on his elbow. Oh boy, here we go.
I hope you don't mind me saying, but you're rather pretty.
Oh? I flushed and looked away. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed the bartender watching us carefully and wondered why she hadn't come over to serve us yet. Well, doesn't he work here? I'm confused.
You know, I could get you something if you want sometime. I work here.
You do?
Yeah, but I'm off duty right now, so there's only Ashley serving.
He motioned to the bartender and she frowned. She started cleaning a sparkling glass with a rag as if there were a spot on it only she could see. Ashley knows what's up. He leaned next to me.
Don't tell people, but she and I used to date. Things have been a bit awkward since then.
Oh, that must be uncomfortable.
Right, but it's my job. I'd much rather we both had some space, but what can you do?
He shrugged, I shrugged. He really couldn't help a situation like that.
Anyways, it's about time for my shift, so I should go change. I hope I'll see you around for dinner at some point.
Yeah, that would be cool. He got up, walked around the bar, and disappeared through a dimly lit hole in the wall. Wow. Oh, now she's friendly again. Good. Well, we'll be doing your route, Ashley, before his, so cheer up. Hey, can I get you anything? I looked up in surprise. Ashley was in front of me and smiling cheerily, the clean glass still in her hand. No, thank you. I can't stay. I just wanted to check this place out. I overheard your conversation. I hope you don't mind me saying. I also live at the One. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, you too. If you ever need anything, just ask. You can find me here most of the time. I'm always happy to help. She smiled brightly at me, and I found myself blushing again. Right. Well then, it's about time for me to head off to work, I think. I stood and began to shuffle towards the doorway. Ashley giggled behind me. Have a good day. I will. Why were all the people here so attractive? It wasn't about finding someone I might want to date anymore. It was trying to choose between them all. So difficult. Perhaps I should get to know them first, as friends? After all, if we lived in the same building, I wouldn't want to have a short fling with someone that ended in bad feelings. I'd have to see them around every day. It had to be even worse for Brendan and Ashley if they lived and worked together. Speaking of work, which way was it to the hostel? Or the hotel? Okay. Nice hotel. The hotel was a tall and thin building, a fairly modern-looking one, but with some old stone touches to blend into the London environment. Passing through the glass doors into the front lobby, I was met with a gentle warmth that wiped away the January gloom. Marble floors gleamed underfoot, reflecting the chandeliers above, and the decorative plants appeared to be live, not plastic. A pretty, but very bored-looking woman was manning the receptionist desk. I approached her. Oh. Hello, I think you are the one woman that I cannot date right now, but I can when I'm a guy, so we'll put you on the back burner for now.
Hello! Welcome to the Nightingale Hotel. Do you have a reservation?
I'm here to work as a maid. I'm from the one hostel. I'm MALIA.
Oh, you.
She reached under the desk and pulled out a piece of paper.
Yeah, you're going to be on shift with Angie, cleaning the upper floors of the hotel today. That's 40-odd rooms, so work quickly. You need to get everything done by the time your shift ends, or you'll be in trouble.
I don't even know how to clean the rooms.
Is that my problem?
She looked at me with disdain.
You spoiled Yanks think you deserve everything handed to you. You'll finish your shift in the presidential suite. That one requires a special key that's kept here on the front desk, so you'll need to come get me. The only other person who has access to that suite is the hotel owner. Make sure you come get me before your shift is over, or I'll be livid. I don't like waiting for other people to finish their work just so I can leave.
Her glare swept up and down my body like a targeting laser. Alright, we're gonna have some problems.
Well, aren't you gonna get going?
But to where?
The employee room in the back. Change it to your uniform and find Angie. Jeez. At this rate, I should get paid for doing your job.
Wow, what a bitch. I'm interested to see if her tone will change when we're a guy. That'd be very interesting. Disgruntled, I followed her outstretched finger to a closet behind the front desk. There was an employee's lounge, a few offices, and a small locker room. I changed clothes in there and came outside. Hi, Angie. Angelo was there waiting for me.
There you are. It's about time. Come on, let's go.
Angelo grabbed a cart next to him and nodded his head to a giant basket.
Take that. It's for laundry. I'll get this one, it's heavier.
Thank you. That's kind of you, Angie. Don't call him Angie now, Malia. Although, I like that you actually have a change of clothing now. That's very nice.
That is not my name.
Sorry, that's what the lady at the desk called you.
Ah, see. That one. A word of warning, do not trust her.
Oh. Thanks for pushing the cart.
Whatever. You're too weak to handle something like this without getting tired.
Oh, you're so manly, Angie. That was a little rude. I followed him into the elevator and he punched the number 6, then we were going up. So what exactly do we do in this job?
We clean things. I'll show you how to do it, but after that you'll be the one making the beds and dusting and stuff.
I will? Why?
I don't do women's work. I'll pick up the dirty towels and clean the bathroom and vacuum, right?
Cleaning the bathroom is not women's work. I'm going to jot that down for my husband. Thank you.
I won't actually clean the sheets, though. That's your job. I think it's pretty fair.
I bristled. What are you talking about, women's work? Do you still live in the Dark Ages? I didn't know men like you still existed. He frowned at me.
What's wrong with it? That's just the way things are. You've got delicate hands, you know. You shouldn't be expected to do the same things that I do.
What? The elevator pinged, disgorging us into a brightly lit hallway. A few guests were standing before the door. We shut our mouths and pushed through to the first room.
Right, so what we do is...
He hammered on the door 3 times.
Maid service. Give them a second to respond, or put on clothes. You never know. Okay, let's go in.
The room was completely empty, but incredibly spacious. 2 queen-size beds, a television, a desk, a table and several chairs, a dresser, nightstands, refrigerator, sink, microwave. Was this a hotel or an apartment? It certainly put my hostel room to shame. I shook my head. Angelo pushed the cart in and handed me a rag and squirt bottle.
Never squirt directly onto the furniture, only into the rag. Get every surface where people would leave fingerprints or dust, but try not to move any of the guests' things except for what's on the bed.
I followed him through the room, watching him work. Then he showed me how to achieve a streak-free shine on the mirrors, and how to achieve a perfectly crisp bed. Did we not change the sheets?
Do you know how much water this place would use up if we washed all the linens every day? If you see something obviously dirty, put it in the cart. Otherwise, make the bed and move on.
What about between guests?
Same routine. This place is pretty fancy, so we can get away with it. People don't expect a place like this to be dirty, so they don't look for it.
Nice.
We wash the sheets every few weeks at a minimum anyways.
Ew. Wait. When was the last time my sheets were washed at the hostel? I'm washing them as soon as I get home. Angelo finished up that room, and starting on the next, I began to clean.
What are you doing? You left a spot here. You call that bed crisp? It looks like a child made it. Can't you do any better than this? You're hardly making this fair for me.
Every room we went into, every room we passed, he found something to berate me for.
I told you not to move the guests' things.
Even when guests were still in the room, he found ways to insult me with his glares and annoyed faces. I wanted, more than anything, to blow up at him, but I held my tongue. There was no point to it. I was going to have to work with him, and I didn't want to get written up for a bad attitude on my first day. According to James, it would reflect badly on the hostel. If he lost his contact, I'd be out of a job and a home. No matter how much of an asshole Angelo was, I just had to deal with him. Finally, several hours later, we finished the last of the regular rooms.
Right. Why don't you run down and get the presidential key from Aussie?
Me? Why me?
Really? I've been pushing around this heavy cart all day, and you can't just ride an elevator down a few floors?
I glared at him but headed back down to the main lobby. However, when I got to the front desk, Aussie was nowhere to be found. There was a single disgruntled guest waiting by it, and he accosted me as soon as I walked up. I did my best to give him directions to a restaurant. Really, I just pointed him in a random direction, but this is a city, surely there'd be food anywhere he went. Finally, out of desperation, I went to knock on the door of the owner's office. Hopefully someone would be in. Excuse me? Oh, hello. Yes? Who are you? I'm MALIA. I'm a new employee here. I need to get into the presidential suite, but I couldn't find Aussie to give me the key. She must be helping a guest with something. Fine. I'll go up and unlock the room for you. It'll be nice to get out of this office anyways. Together, the hotel owner and I rode up to the top floor and met Angelo, his foot tapping impatiently.
There you... Oh, my apologies, ma'am.
Don't worry, no inspection today. I'll get out of your hair after this. The boss stuck the key card into the door and opened it up. There, now it's all right. There was just one problem. We'd forgotten to knock. Oh no, Aussie! As the door swung open, we were given a grand view of the room's king-size bed. And the 2 people on top of it. Wow, nice. Oh my god! Aussie, what are you doing with... The hotel owner glanced between her and the hotel guest, who were locked in an embrace on the bed. Luckily, they weren't completely naked. I think. I was trying very, very hard not to look. Aussie! Well, it's definitely not what you think, ma'am. There is a... I believe this is something we should discuss in my office, if you don't mind. I apologize for this disturbance, sir. We'll get out of your hair right away. If you would like to have your room serviced, the staff here can clean it now and be on their way. The guest nodded dumbly, and the owner left the room to wait in the hallway. Wow, that is so incredibly awkward. As Aussie got out of bed and surreptitiously straightened her clothes, she glared at me.
I told you not to go up into this room without me, didn't I? I told you to come and get me, not the boss, didn't I? Can you not comprehend simple orders at all, or did you think I was just joking around with you?
It didn't seem like...
Oh, I wasn't serious enough for you. You didn't take my warning seriously.
How was I supposed to know it was a warning when every word out of your mouth sounds like a threat? She headed out of the room, but stopped as she drew level with me.
I swear to God I will make you pay for this.
But... Without another word, she left the room. The guest looked from me to Angelo, face pale as marshmallows.
Please, sir, don't worry about it. It's just a minor employee feud that will be handled by HR.
Angelo stepped in to shave me, as I was far too shaken to respond. Thanks, boy.
We'll just get to work cleaning, won't we, Malia?
I nodded, my mouth dry. The room was larger than the rest and took us slightly longer to clean. By the time we were done, my heart was racing a little less. Angelo pushed both his and my cart out of the room, then looked at me.
That was a little worrisome.
I'm just... To my horror, tears filled my eyes. First, Angelo berated me the entire day, and then I got in hot water with Aussie. Angelo frowned, then approached me. What? He swept me up in a grand hug, and I stiffened, completely confused. I knew I was going to fall in love with you. Good God. I gotta wait one route, though. I gotta focus on Danny. Angelo!
There. It'll all be fine. Don't worry about it, okay? She won't actually do anything. Aussie's all talk, no fight. Once I left something out in the kitchen and she ate it and got sick. She hollered until the goats came home, but never did anything about it.
In the kitchen? Wait, she lives at the hostel with us? He pulled away from me and raised an eyebrow.
Yeah, did she not say this?
Oh, God! I guess I must have forgot.
Don't worry, I won't let her bother you. You didn't do anything wrong anyways. Just try to put it out of your head, okay? If anything happens, just holler for me and I'll come get you.
Angelo! He grinned and my heart skipped a beat all of a sudden. And I forgot all the berations I had received. What? Why was he suddenly so nice? What happened to the jerk who bossed me around all day?
Anyways, let's go. You have to do all the laundry before we can get off this shift.
Oh, there he was. I love it. We finished our work in the basement of the hotel. By the time we came back to the lobby, Aussie was once again at the receptionist desk, helping guests with a bright smile on her face. It was almost as if nothing had happened.
See? She didn't get fired. No harm, no foul.
As we passed to the exit, however, she glowered at me.
Well, maybe not. Let's go home. It's late. Tomorrow's the first day of classes. You need your rest.
Oh, right. Somehow I had to take control of events and stop letting everything just happen to me. We'll try. Well, I worked my first shift and made my first enemy. But regardless of what happened today, this was still my trip. It was up to me to make the most of it. Both good and bad. I could let people get to me like I usually did, or I could stand up on my own 2 feet and push through. Somehow. It was all up to me. And what I wanted to do most right now was... You know what? Let's check in with her. Bud's back home. It's been a while. The time difference between London and New York was about 5 hours, so it would be afternoon back home. Nene probably wouldn't be home, but Jinsu might be. I only had a very small phone card for international calls. I'd have to buy more minutes later when I got paid, but at least I could say hello. It took a minute to figure out how to dial a US number from here, but eventually it rang.
Malia, is that you? Hey, how's England so far?
Good and bad.
Set your sights on any cute girls yet?
I couldn't help laughing. Well, I'm not into girls this time around. I really don't think I'm into girls.
How will you know unless you try?
I don't think it works that way.
Well, keep your eyes open. You never know.
We chatted briefly about what I'd seen in London so far, and then he bid me a good night. I needed my rest. My semester was only just beginning. Aw, she's making the bed!